area where the bulls have been in full control has been the one e-commerce stock, or one key e-commerce stock, Just Dial. We just told you on Friday that an investor in the IPO of Just Dial actually just doubled his money. And at this moment, despite the kind of profit-taking you're seeing in that stock, still continuing with fairly decent gains compared to the IPO itself. So the Just Dial founder and CEO, VSS Money, joins in this e-commerce conversation, a theme which Aditya Narayan, our guest editor, picked up for us today. Also joining in this conversation is Sundeep Malhotra, CEO of Home Shop 18. One disclosure, Home Shop 18 is an associate company of this group which owns the TV 18 channel. E-commerce player who should be promising this kind of same-day delivery, Sundeep Malhotra of Home Shop 18 is with us. Sundeep, you have actually more TV shopping and internet shopping. Which one is more, and where are the margins more?
Well, we actually have a pretty hybrid model, which is, so we're not really e-commerce. I think we have virtual retail. There are 3 screens that we operate on, which is the television, the internet, and the mobile. And all 3 serve a completely different purpose, because for a consumer, when he's at home, it's television. On the go is mobile, and at work is the internet. And all 3 of them are growing very, very rapidly. Currently, I think our 24-hour home shopping business, which is through television, is the fastest growing, purely because of the acceptance and penetration. And it's the only means it's the only virtual means where you can actually demonstrate a product and get consumer confidence in at the quickest. Quarter on quarter, I think the internet and television are both growing at somewhere between 25 to 35% on a quarter-on-quarter growth.
Sundeep, I have two questions for you on this. Firstly, say let's just take a hard number. 8 years on, which business do you think is going to be the largest for you? And that should be an easy answer, at least a single word answer. The second thing is in context to what Money referred, which is the payment system they've cracked by this payment on delivery. Do you see that as the payment system going forward? Is that a hindrance, or is that something that's going to sustain? And from a cost perspective, does that make any kind of a difference? Negative, I would presume, but does it make any real difference?
Okay, so let me just break that into 2 parts. The first 8 to 10 years down the road, which of these would be faster? I think both are going to keep growing, primarily because the penetration of both television and the internet, both these mediums are pretty underrepresented, or the penetration has huge headrooms. There will be 2 different kinds of customers coming on board. Television will get and is getting a slightly older audience, whereas the internet would get a slightly younger audience. The pace of penetration on internet is much faster than the penetration of television. So hence, I think somewhere down the road, internet would be the faster growing of the 2. But you never know, mobile could surprise us completely. With the amount of search that is happening on the mobile right now, it's just a matter of time that everyone who's searching on the mobile will move to a transaction mode very, very soon. So I personally think there is huge headroom in all 3 formats of transacting. But there may be different kind of customers who would come on each of these formats, and I think that's the important part. On the payment mechanisms, I think Mani said a very correct thing. The number 1 priority for all of us, whether we sell through television or the internet or the mobile, is to build consumer confidence. You must remember that in the US, it took 5 decades to move from a mom-and-pop store to e-commerce. What happened in the US in 5 decades is actually happening in India in 2 years. So it is a fairly new phenomena. But cash on delivery is something that we brought in purely from a consumer confidence and convenience. I think it's something which is here to stay. It is more expensive. It is not an easy one, but I think we can't wish it away. Credit card penetration is pretty low, but I think cash on delivery, we are a cash economy. So there is no way cash on delivery is going to disappear.
Fair enough. Actually, we have to wind up this conversation. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us.